Welcome to the Swedish Air Force Museum. It's a national museum under government authority. Its assignment is to collect and present the background and development of the Swedish military aviation. The history of flight is told in a wider context, the threat to Sweden, how the Swedish strategy of defense and the Air Force have met that threat, and how the Swedish society has been developed. The Air Force Museum is situated on historic ground. The first Swedish military flying school was opened here in 1912, and on this site was one of the first 5 air bases in Sweden situated when the Air Force was formed in 1926. 60 aeroplanes are exhibited in the museum. Many of them are unique. The oldest aeroplane was used in the military flight as long ago as in 1912. Look at this French beauty, it's a Newport 4G. This is another unique aircraft. It's a German bomber, a Junker. It's the only example left in the world, and it's also the biggest military aircraft in the Swedish Air Force ever. This is a Saab 21. It's the first aeroplane with an ejection seat to help the pilot away from the danger of the shooting propeller. Since the beginning of the 20th century, Sweden has been strictly neutral in war times. During the Cold War, Sweden was situated in between the Eastern and the Western hemispheres. The Swedish defense was strong. The Air Force was number 4 of the world's strongest, and the main part of it consisted of aeroplanes made by Saab. That makes Linköping the Swedish capital of flight. Saab 29, the flying barrel, moved as a duck on the ground and as a swallow in the sky. During the first part of the 50s, it was one of the most famous fighters in the world, together with the F-86 Sabre and the Soviet MiG-15. Welcome to a Swedish living room from the 60s. The furniture is made of teak. There is a rather huge TV set in the corner. Everything is quite cozy, but you can feel the terror balance between the East and the West. So here it is, Saab 35, the Dragon. You can see the typical double delta form. It was a supersonic aircraft with a very low landing speed, and it served for many years in the Swedish, Finnish, Danish and Austrian air forces. The most dramatic episode took place in June 1952, when a transport plane, a DC-3 from the Swedish Air Force, was shot down by a Soviet MiG fighter over international water above the Baltic Sea. The 8 men on board disappeared into the waves. The wreck was found in 2003 and was taken up 1 year later. What did the widow of the navigator think when she suddenly caught sight of this talisman, this nylon stocking that she had given him early in the morning of the 13th of June 1952? Because that day was a Friday. This exhibition won a prestigious museum award, the 2010 Exhibition of the Year. The Air Force Museum has been nationally recognized and won the most prestigious museum award, the 2011 Swedish Museum of the Year, and has been nominated as the European Museum of the Year. In the Science Center, there are fun experiments related to aeroplanes in one way or the other. Cafe, restaurant, library, conference facilities, different programs, shop, presentations, and much more. You are all warmly welcome to the Swedish Air Force Museum.